Hey, welcome to Above Life Channel. The purpose here is to inspire your spirit and to fill you with hope. Welcome to our weekly live stream video. Nice to see ya. I'm going to check our sound quality, make sure we're good here. I'll wait for YouTube to click me on. Show me up here, YouTube. It's been a little weird the last few days, I have to say, going live. It's taken a little bit of time here. Good morning to you. Our topic today is interesting. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. Yeah, it's trying to find it here. Here we go. Good morning. Welcome to Above Life Channel. Are you following me on TikTok and Instagram? In addition to Facebook, I have a Facebook pages I always have, and I've been much better about being over there. And now I set up an Instagram page for Above Life Channel on Instagram. So check that out. I'll start posting there in addition to TikTok too. So there you go. Yay. All right. So we're going to have a conversation about this is going to be a different one. I got to say, I'm not super fond of this topic. I'm sure you're not super fond of it either, but it is curious, isn't it? It bubbled up. I can't remember last week. I think it was when I've been doing some personal work. I've been doing a lot of healing stuff. A lot of stuff has been moving through. I've done a lot of work with twin flame energies, as you know, and I also coach people individually in private sessions for that. And we do twin flame intuitive coaching, psychic connection, and healing. So we do it on all the 3 levels that are needed in order to move through that experience. And so this kind of comes up in relation to that. And I do want to say, as a human, my personal experience has been on the side of cheating on both of the sides. So I've been the cheater and I've been the cheated. So I've been both. I've been both. I'm sure many of us have, or we suspect that we have. So I know, being a psychic sometimes and being able to communicate and connect and do the work that I do sometimes leads people to believe that I have like this life where I'm super guided and so informed and all of these, I make really good decisions. And I think you've known, if you've been around me for a while, that I'm human just like you. And I don't listen either. Okay. So my spirit guides have a really tough job trying to wrangle me. It's like herding cats. Okay. And I'm a human as much as I am intuitive. And just because I work really well for you in session, it doesn't mean I do private sessions for myself and I'm good at it. That's why I have psychic friends. That's why I have other psychics and life coaches and intuitive healers that I go to help support me, because in my humanness, just like you. So I've messed up in relationship. I've messed up big time in marriage. Yeah, I've dealt with infidelity in marriage, and not by my spouse, but by me. And so there's a lot around that, and there's a lot of personal stuff around that I'm not going to go into because there's other people involved. However, I will say that I've also been a person that has been betrayed as well in relationship, where when you deal with infidelity, the concept of truth becomes a little bit blurry for some people, including ourselves, because we can lie to ourselves really easily if we're in a scenario where there's a lot of emotion, there's heightened energetics, there might be some deeper connections that you have with another person, this strong pull that you can't describe. It could be a twin flame thing. It might be. It could also just simply be a soul agreement where you agreed to meet this person at some point in your life, and their job is to help get you back on your path. Somehow you've got off path, like you've not paid attention to your own personal needs, not addressed your own personal feelings and emotions. Maybe you've been in a marriage for some time where You just really you've grown and changed and your partner hasn't. Or maybe you've been in a long-term relationship that has been really kind of there's been a power imbalance, or maybe there's a scenario where you just want different things at the stage in life you're at. There's all sorts of reasons why relationships change and evolve, and why people get into scenarios, souls get into scenarios where there there is a need to seek out additional life experience. And yeah, there's lots of ways to do that. And I used to really be judgy about this years and years ago until I was in that situation. And it's like you can't judge until you've walked a mile in somebody else's shoes, and the person you're judging is yourself. Because the truth is you're afraid because you really don't know how you'd respond or react. And if you've been tempted to step outside of a relationship that you have, a commitment that you have, there is likely some guilt and shame that's wrapped into that. And guess what? Society gives us plenty of guilt and shame and heavy expectation about upon what relationship should look like, what marriage should look like, what sexuality should look like, what identity should look like, what gender should look like, what culture should look like. I mean, all different kinds of like there's so many um pressures and stereotypes and expectations that are pushed upon us that we don't see obviously overtly all the time because it's just so kind of normal, unfortunately, in our life day to day. But energetically, see, this is the place that I want to talk about this. There is a psychic meaning to infidelity that I want to dig into, because it really is about this recognition of where you are at. It's really about you. Doesn't matter what your opinion is, what your view is, or or that. It's really about where you are at. Where are you at on your relationship continuum? Where are you at on your lifespan? What kinds of experiences have you had? Now, you don't necessarily, I'm not suggesting that it's okay and that, oh, it's a soul thing. You can't help yourself. No, you have free will. You make choices. We are accountable. We are accountable for the choices we make. It doesn't matter what your motives are, what your intentions are, you know, how if it saved your life at the time, if it, you know, got you out of a horrific abusive relationship or got you out of a horrible depression. It doesn't matter why or the reason or the rationale. It's not about anybody else or anything else but you, and the way that you are processing information, the way that you are evaluating your life plan, the way that you are looking at your life timeline and deciding, am I happy? And what does happiness mean? And an attempt to define what happiness looks like or is. And really the truth is, everyone listen to this. The truth is that we don't know. What you do know is that the truth is that you know you're not, okay? So you know what you're not, right? You're not being valued. You're not being seen. You're not being respected. You're not being taken seriously, whether it be in relationship at work or in relationship at home, from your kids. Because if you're like me and you have kids that are like in their 20s, oh, they have all sorts of opinions about you and what they think about your life. Let me just tell you, I even have a teenager that has a lot of opinions about my life. I'm like, really? Honey, you've lived 15 years, okay? I got you up by, like 3 times that at least plus. So this is really about you. It's not about the feeling of the that the other person brings to you. It's about the feeling in you the feeling inside you, the places within you that there are gaps, that you feel disconnected, that you feel separated and separation. Now, let me just say this to you on this topic of infidelity, cheating, and betrayal. You get to have your feelings 100% hands down. Because why? What do we say on Above Life Channel? Feelings are information. They are really strong at times and they become opinion. They become real fiery sometimes. And they sometimes become rationale for why we do something or why we don't do something, right? The feelings. Because if it turns into fear, it can really be kind of controlling. If it turns into uh, a recognition of what you've been missing, and all of a sudden, in a moment, you just feel this opportunity to just have this fullness in your heart and this fullness in your body, like being fully embodied. And a lot of times when souls connect, there is such a rush in the physical body because of the desire for embodiment, not because of the desire to be with that person, but because what you've been missing is embodiment. Because in the relationship that you're currently in the life that you're currently living, you are not seen as yourself. You are not seen or recognized, or maybe you've tried to be yourself and other people just ignore that. As long as you don't get too, you know, as long as you don't get too in my face with who you are, or your personality is too much for me, we're just going to ignore it, and as long as we don't talk about it, it's fine. Really? Because that sounds like a cage. And a cage represents safety. Think of a bird that's in a cage inside a home looking out the window. It's safe in here. There's no prey. You're not prey to you don't have predators chasing you. You don't have fear. You're taken care of. You get food, you have light, you have people around you, but you're in a cage. There's expectations, and you might be quite comfortable and content with that. And guess what? We're all different birds. We are. And so that might be fine. That might be great. But when we're talking about the psychic meaning of cheating, it's not simple. It's not straightforward. It's not something that you can compare your experience to somebody else's experience. You can't. There are some commonalities, of course. And I'm sure if you talk to a life coach or a marriage therapist or somebody that coaches around relationships or cheating themselves or infidelity, fidelity, etc., like Esther Perel's work, for example, if you want to learn more about relationships and such, Esther Perel has great info. Um, it's not, there's not a template really. I mean, there are some common themes, yes, but there's not a template. So to try to figure it out or win at the game or solve the puzzle, it doesn't work like that. And if you've been the person that has felt betrayed because of a scenario where somebody else has been faithful, whatever that means, because the meaning of faithfulness, I hate that word actually. Because it's all these words sound so judgy, right? And really, infidelity and cheating and betrayal and unfaithful, these words sound so derogatory. There's this disloyalty, this distrust that comes from this whole just canister of structured meaning, right? Yet psychically, there's an energetic component to this, that the judgment and the value or devaluation in the first place is part of what's creating the infidelity, the cheating, and the betrayal. Do you see? Do you see that? The evaluation The need to be seen, the need to be validated, the need to feel value. Maybe it's to feel beautiful or wanted or loved. And when someone else provides you, another soul sees you with that energy, even if it's not real, even if it's temporary, it is a burst of, oh my goodness, that brings up your level of connection to what's possible for you. It brings hope in. It's sparkly. It lightens up the energy around you when there is an attraction to you or a draw to you or attention that's paid to you. There is in a favorable light, there is an increase in value that sort of happens within the psyche, it seems, connected to the psychic. Okay, because I can't speak to psychology because I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counselor, I'm not that. But the psyche piece of feeling good about yourself, of feeling worthy and beyond worthy, feeling valued, feeling wanted, feeling appreciated, feeling needed. Those are real human needs, okay? That chances are the people who have done the cheating or been on the receiving side of being cheated both have experienced a lack, a lack in value. It's not always like a hit of dopamine or a hit of feel good hormones, or it's not people that are like serial, like constant, like love that new relationship energy stuff. That might be like that kind of a pattern might be like, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay. Somebody that's constantly doing that that's a whole different ballgame. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the place that you get to in life where this whole scenario is really about you and your value and how you value yourself and how you express your value and how you are in relationships that give you back the same value that you exude and don't and aren't in a place where if you do this then you get this, like a series of reward and benefit, or a balance, a relationship where there's like somebody has more power, whether they make more money, whether they own the home you're living in, whether they um, are the healthy one. Like if you're like somebody that is dealing with like a chronic illness, maybe you have like some kind of a diagnosis and you feel like, oh my gosh, I have to, whatever they want, I have to just, kind of a thing. And I'm not talking about abusive relationships. I'm not talking about narcissistic or anything like that. I'm talking about just this relationship dynamic that can happen between people over time. And the consistent question or the consistent point and the way to avoid falling into the scenario of betrayal, the scenario of cheating, is to constantly be sourcing from yourself, generating within yourself your value. And if you are in a relationship, an atmosphere, an environment that is constantly beating you down or not allowing you to be who you need to be and express the way you need to express, then that's a place that you have to make choices. And you can. Your choice might be to stay or your choice might be to leave. Is it going to change your life? Yes. But it's your choice. So betrayal or cheating or infidelity, the psychic piece of this is all energetic and it's all about, yes, it is about emotions and feelings. And yes, it can get a little complicated with the soul connections of people. But what it's about you and what you need and your value and needing to feel like you are supported and you are worthy of love. And not that there is a list of expectations like a job description that you must meet all of these things in order to be successfully loved in your relationship. That's ridiculous. And people have different personalities and people have different needs. And the way that you bridge those things between two different people is communication. That's why counseling is awesome, or marriage coaching is important, or effective communication in hard conversations, and not judging or blaming each other is helpful. But that takes practice and that takes a commitment and a desire to communicate. But in order to communicate with somebody else, you got to know that you can communicate inside yourself. You can't be lying to yourself. So the biggest betrayal here, the biggest infidelity is you not acknowledging your soul's wisdom, because you're not. You're devaluing your intuition over and over and over and over again. And it needs to be heard. I'm not saying you have to do all the time what the intuition is saying. I'm saying you have to acknowledge it. If you're not acknowledging your voice, how can you expect somebody else to do that? Other people can't give you validation externally if you're not going to give it to yourself. That's the energetic piece. The energy piece of things is who you are. Like, what are you hiding? What truth about yourself are you hiding from or running from? You don't feel good about yourself? You think your nose is too big? You don't think you're smart enough? You think you're too old? What is it? And it's not the listing of the flaws and the faults. It's the understanding that I exist in all of these ways, and I am so much more than just the way I look or what job I do. It's a deeper connection to your spirit. It's a soulful connection. And we betray ourselves over and over and over again. You are unfaithful to your soul over and over and over again. You are. So you want to talk about cheating? You want to talk about loyalty? Are you loyal to your inner wisdom? If you say, well, I don't have that, or I don't feel that, that's disloyalty. That's a betrayal, because that's a lie. Okay? That's not the truth. That's not the truth. The truth is, it takes persistence, it takes communication, it takes things like tapping, meditation, just as talking nice to yourself to build that connection, to build that trust over time. And energetically, people get cheated on because they are looking to other people to be their everything instead of knowing they're everything. Body, mind, heart, and soul. Everything. Be your everything. I'm not saying be alone. I'm saying everything. Be your everything. You want to stop cheating? You want to stop betrayal? Be your everything. Stop looking for things outside of yourself to make you feel better for what you are feeling like you're disconnected to inside. What is your relationship with your higher power? And if you're an atheist, fine. What's your relationship to the forest, to nature, to earth? What are the values that you have, and how are you living in alignment with your values and your beliefs? Tell me that before you tell me all about the drama about that no good, rotten, dirty girlfriend or boyfriend that is cheating on you or sneaking around, and that you're still keeping in your life anyway. And by the way, you can. You can, but don't expect them to be different. You can still enjoy their company, but It is what it is. Be honest with yourself about it. You can still maybe your body really enjoys them. Just make sure you're being safe. I want you to be healthy. You might need to take some of those, tests at the doctors and things to make sure you're healthy, but you don't have to not be with that person because they are with other people. Like, that's what dating is, isn't it? Like, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've dated. It's been a while since I've dated. So, I mean, I assume, right? You get choices, and you don't make choices because you think that your brother's gonna judge you or your mom's gonna judge you or your friends aren't gonna understand because they might not understand for a hot minute because they love you, but they are gonna be by your side if they are friends. They might not like the person. You can't expect your friends to like the people, especially if they don't treat you well. Your friends are gonna have something to say about that. But don't isolate or separate from your friends because that's not bad. They're not being bad, they're just doing their job, loving you. Now that's love. They're telling you the truth, that's love. But again, you have choice. You get to choose. That's what free will is. So whether you've been cheated on or you've been a person that has been the one that betrayed someone, this is a prime opportunity to soften the energy around this topic that gets put upon you by the heteronormative, patriarchal, whatever you want to label it, capitalistic, whatever you want to label, the really messed up society. Like, those are old structures and pressures and rules that really don't apply anymore. So you don't have to carry the burden of the pressures of that or the shame or the guilt. You get to release the energy, soften the energy around this situation for you and feel into a tenderness, a kindness, a compassion. Be compassionate with yourself. So I gotta check this. I got a car at the shop. So I'm like, are they calling? Um, yeah, so there's a lot around this topic and I know it'll be fiery for people and I know it'll trigger. And when it does, that's okay. That's okay. That means there's an opportunity for healing, which is an opportunity for connection, which is an opportunity to know yourself better, to be on your own side. You get to be angry, you get to be sad, you get to grieve, you get to feel all the feelings. Try really, really hard not to judge yourself if you can, regardless of which role you play here. That is a commonality. That's a common thread is the judgment and the evaluation or devaluation of yourself or other people. Because what happens then is comparison and competition. And again, that's old society structure stuff that does not apply here because this is new rules. This is a spiritual component of relationship. This is the spiritual understanding of connection and disconnection. And not looking to fill our personal needs and our get validation from other people that we don't have within ourselves. That's why in relationships there's this imbalance, and it seems like there's one person that seems more needy maybe or this perception of that, but you're not more needy. You're just trying to figure out how to articulate and then how to implement, take action to provide for the life that you want to have. It just so happens that this other person might not be that be all end all, and one person can't be your be all end all. You also have to have friendships and coworkers or colleagues and different relationships with family members that are a web of relationship to support all the different facets of your heart that you need because you are complex, and all the parts of your soul that you will be fed. So, for example, maybe your significant other doesn't like hiking. Does that mean you never should hike then? Because you're going to leave them alone. You should do something when you that they like too. Okay. Then aren't you just sacrificing, kind of becoming a little bit of a martyr by not doing your thing so that years from now you can have so many resentments because you never got to mountain bike or hike because your partner didn't want to do it and then you felt guilty or bad or shame. Do you see how this works? That's ridiculous. When the truth is your partner would want you to do your things, like go with your friends, join a hiking club, go hike by yourself, do it without the pressure of like, oh, but I'm just gonna, I don't have anybody to do anything with. That's ridiculous. Now that's different. That's a weird dynamic of that's like that's a whole nother conversation. We can talk about manipulating people with your energy and pulling on people's emotions and whatever. Okay, we know that we're empaths. We feel that all the time. That ain't we're so familiar with that. So the betrayal and the cheating is about you. Whatever side you're on, when you look at it in human form, it's about you betraying yourself. And that is about not being true to you or not being willing to be aware of what is true for you. Because as much as you love your partner or like your life, it it just might not be a fit for you anymore. This is why people get divorced. I mean, that's it happens, you know? This is why breakups happen. This is why people leave jobs. It's not a fit anymore. That's okay. It's natural. Like you should be growing and evolving. And if the relationship can grow and evolve and support you so that you can grow and evolve, that's different. That's great, right? But don't make assumptions that it can't. The assumption should be it should. And if it's not, that's the issue. That's where the break happens. That's where the separation happens. That's where the devaluation happens. That's when the judgment comes in. That's when the guilt comes in. That's when the shame comes in. And guilt and shame and judgment and devaluation are the things that erode every relationship, every business partnership, every job, everything. Okay? We don't need that. Don't buy into it. So when it comes to betrayal, do not betray yourself. That's hard. I'm asking you to start to try to trust yourself. And in order to trust yourself, you got to know yourself. And the truth is, you don't spend a lot of time with yourself doing things that you would like to do. If you want to go to the coffee shop and read a book, go do that. Go do that. On a Saturday morning, let hubby watch the kids. You just go and you sit at the coffee shop and you have a coffee and you read your book for an hour and you have your time. Or you take yourself, like Julia Cameron in The Artist's Way talks about doing dates like that. Like going, if you're blessed to live by the ocean or by the mountains, go for a hike, go for a walk, go sit by the ocean. Go do that. Listen to the waves. Do that. Spend that time with yourself and your soul. And if you can do it outside in nature, all the better because that just amplifies for your soul. That just makes your soul bigger because you're everything. You're everything. You are everything. You're everything. You're everything. And wouldn't it be awesome to be everything and meet other people that are their everythings too? Whether they become lifelong friends or whether they become lovers or romantic partners, you know, like wives or husbands or whatever that is. I mean, wow. How cool would the world be if we were just if we didn't buy into all this other heavy stuff about what relationships should be, how we should act if we're being courted or if we are in a relationship, and this weird like balance of or imbalance of power and expectation and not communicating and separation and disconnect. I mean, that's just not healthy. So let's be healthy, starting with ourselves. so that we can change this betrayal culture. We can change this cheating culture. We can change by softening the judgments that we have about ourselves, about other people in those different scenarios. We're just distracting when we're focusing on other people and their stuff, and we have such opinions about other people's lives. They're not you. They're not going to do things the way you do them or the way you would do them. And the truth is you don't even know until you're in that scenario what you're going to do. Okay. So don't try to tell me you know, because I'm speaking from experience. You do not know. You really can't say honestly. You cannot honestly, with 100% certainty, say you can't. Think about your celebrity crush. Like if I was in a place with Sophia Bush, all bets are off. I mean, if she was attracted to me. For example, just hypothetically saying, I'm just trying to make you guys, relate. Okay. So the most important thing is this topic is about you. Just like all the topics are about you. It begins and ends with you. Your happiness is about you. And the disconnects that you have, you can work on that within yourself. Start by just being more compassionate to yourself, more gentle. Okay? The thoughts that we're thinking are so damn mean. Catch yourself doing that and choose a different way. Break the cycle and the pattern. Okay? Stop devaluation. Stop it. Reevaluate that and increase your value innately. Spend some time with yourself and you'll see how much you do like that. That you do like yourself because you're very likable. And then maybe you'll fall in love with you again. I know I would. If I spent more time with me, I would be so conceited. I would just love myself. I do like spending time with myself. I loved alone time. I love it. I absolutely love it. Because why? Because I'm interesting. Like I laugh at myself. I talk to myself. Like this should be more common. We need more of that. You deserve that. That kind of love. I want you to have that. All right, my friends. So thank you so much for being here on our Monday live stream video. Here's my new coffee mug. You've probably seen it. I did post it on the community tab. There is a link to purchase it if you would like in the description below. This is for Pride Month. Get it early though. Order it now so you can have it for the whole month of Pride, which is the month of June. Look at that. Isn't that good? I designed it. We created this awesome mug. It's $20 plus shipping, and all of the proceeds, every dollar that comes in for it goes directly to a queer charity, an LGBTQIA charity. I have not chosen one yet. I need help with that. So go to my Facebook page and give me some suggestions. Yes, the Trevor Project and Glisten are two that I've contributed to in the past. I'd like to do something maybe trans focused or youth, LGBTQIA youth focused, or focused on helping people to get access to healthcare that is related to their transitions. Because I know a lot of states are passing legislation and things that are very devaluing individual people and our choices. And so I don't care if it's someplace in Tennessee or Kentucky or whatever. It doesn't have to be a whole United States thing. It can be just a charity. A grassroots place would be awesome, but I need to vet them. So whoever it is, it won't be that much money anyway, probably, but I don't know. We'll see. I got some ideas for Pride Month, some things I'm going to do to help raise some money and raise some awareness. So just another value piece and love. Love, 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 love. You don't have to agree. Just don't be rude and mean. Be nice. All right. Thank you so much for being here on Above Life channel on YouTube. If you're interested in my current services, take a look at the description below in this video because you will see there is a new service that I haven't talked about out loud yet, but I will eventually when I'm ready. And you can actually book it now if you want to. I will talk about it in the future though. So yes, I am taking new clients and I'm feeling much better. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate all your love and support. I am feeling much, much, much better. I just got on some more medication for my HRT. So I am so excited to be able to balance out all the hormones in my body because they've been out of whack since my heart surgery. Had to go off all that stuff cold turkey, and it's been really tough emotionally and mood swings, and my body is not happy about it. And so now I'm feeling, I've been on it for like 5 days. I am feeling already just so much better. So although, okay, here's just something. Okay, we're just going to chat for a second about something. So if you want to leave, you can leave now, especially if this isn't your jam, but we just need to chat about something a little bit. HRT is hormone replacement therapy, and I take it because my levels are all wonky because of menopause. And yes, I am not old, okay? It is what it is, right? And because I still have all my girl parts, I have to take both estrogen and progesterone to have a balance, right? And what I really don't need is the estrogen, which also, by the way, helps your heart health. This is why women, as we get older, have problems with our hearts because less estrogen creates problems with the heart. The heart needs that hormone. So HRT, hormone replacement therapy, it helps millions and millions of women bodies. Okay. So it's not just access for people who are transitioning. It's access to millions of mothers out there and others out there. So I have noticed, and I'm going to share this with you. I had a friend that had this problem too, and I just had this problem too, that the progesterone is limited. All of a sudden, magically, it's hard to get it. Why is that? Let me think. Political stuff going on. Oh my goodness. Why would that be? Because you want thousands, millions of angry, feminine bodied women and others choosing to be in alignment with or whichever, balance you fall into and need. Really? You want to piss off that part of the population? Really? Really? Like it was gone for like a month. Like she couldn't get it. And she's like, I can't get it. I can't get it. I'm feeling crappy. I'm going to have to go on antidepressants. Like that's the kind of conversation she and I were having. I'm like, so you're trying to medicate? What? Like, I don't get this. This makes me so furious because why? Control, devaluation, what? It's just crazy. Okay, so I did warn you to not listen to this part because I knew I was going to rant a little bit. But are you kidding me right now? So I'm on like this wait list for progesterone. So I can't get the progesterone, but lucky for me, I still had a bunch left over from last fall because all of a sudden I had to stop taking it. That was before there were all these laws that were being made to try to limit access to hormones. People, your wives need the hormones too. So don't be stupid. Duh. And everyone should have access to HRT if they want it and they need it. It shouldn't be something that is just, oh my God. I couldn't imagine being in a process of a transition and then having all of a sudden my hormones were taken away. Are you freaking kidding me right now? I mean, I'm already pissed about my hormones being taken away, and I'm not in a process of aligning my body and my soul together. And I need those life-saving hormones. Like, I just need them so I need HRT so that I can do this work in a way that keeps me in my body, physically healthy, connected, not depressed, and not brain foggy. Okay. So stop limiting the hormones. That's what I'm going to say about that. Oh, ooh. I know. I know. I don't usually, I got to reel myself in. I don't usually, I'm just, this is why I wanted to do this. I couldn't imagine needing it to live. Like, I could live without it. I wouldn't be the same person. I wouldn't be able to do the work I can do now with it. There's no way. I wouldn't have the capacity. I wouldn't have the resiliency. Mm-mm. The hot flashes alone are a awful nightmare. Like, you don't understand. You don't get just a little hot. It's bad. Like, you feel like you're going to pass out. Like, and especially me with all these other meds I have, it's like, it makes me so sick. I felt so awful the last several months because of the lack of the hormones in my body. It's been just a nightmare. So I did get approved to be able to take them again, which is great, but now there's no supply. Magically, it's restricted. Gee, I can't imagine why that would be. This is why it's so important to say things. To be an example of alignment. A soul is a soul. If people would stop falling in love with just a body, everything would be so much better. I'm serious. All right. Okay. No. Coming back into alignment, trying to be very Switzerland. It's not going to happen. I came back to life not to play small. So you're damn right I'm going to be an advocate. And if people on Above Life channel don't like that, they're not my people, and it's okay. It's okay. Move along, because we got a great crop of queer LGBTQIA people and community members that we are going to support here. Because why? Because we don't differentiate between the way people look or how they express or how they present or how they talk or where they live or what their cultural background is. We are about the spirit. And we are all part of the same sun, the same source, the oneness. It's that simple. And if you don't like that, you don't belong here on Above Life channel. Bye. And for those of you who are here, I love you. I love you. Harmony, harmonizing the energies, bringing in the love. We're just going to be that. We're going to respect ourselves. We're going to respect each other. We're going to be more compassionate to ourselves. We're going to have compassionate conversations inside our own hearts and our own minds. And that is going to be how you're going to increase your value, recalibrate, make new connections within your body, mind, heart, and soul. And then that's how the world will change. It will shift and it will change, and we will do it together. And I'll be here. All right. Hello in the chat. Nice to see you. Hey, Jamie. Nice to see you. Hey, Catherine. Hey, nice to see you. Hey, AJ. Shout out to AJ. Shout out to my friend in Texas. Shout out to my friend on TikTok. I'm going to call him Dad. My dad friend on TikTok, because he may be here. So yeah. All right. Shout out to David. I hope you're doing well. And Andrew as well. I'm thinking about you guys. I'm feeling you. I'm not kidding. Call me anytime, day or night. I'm here for you. Just sending so much love. So much love. I hope I've inspired your spirit today. Maybe it poked at you a little bit. Maybe set you on fire a little bit. Fire extinguisher. This is your life and you get to live it. This is your life. People can have as many opinions as they need or want to have. It doesn't matter. If they're mean or jerk butts, oh well, walk away if you can. And if you can't, close your ears. Mm. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's your life and you get to live it. Just live it. Oh, can't wait to see how many followers I'm going to lose now, but this is going to be fun. We're going to have a great time being ourselves. Damn right.